Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my third surrogacy video update. I am going to be going over my medical screening results with you guys today. First, I wanted to start off by thanking everybody who's on this journey with me. I am super surprised to see how many women are exploring their own options when it comes to surrogacy and trying to figure out their own feelings when it comes to this process. So thank you so much for everybody who's reached out. My medical screening results came back and I did not get the go-ahead like I thought I would be getting. They are sending me out for more testing. I did come back positive for 2 copies of the C677T. And it is a mutation and it was inherited by either my mom or my dad. I'm not sure who. They are wanting me to get tested because it can lead to cardiovascular disease. Basically, my body does not break proteins down properly. I don't absorb folic acid like I should. So I'm interested to see how this will affect my future health, to see if I'll pass this on to my children. Hopefully this doesn't have any kind of effect on their health. I'm going to be going over some of my medical history. I was diagnosed at a young age with anemia. That kind of went away on its own, and then in my teenage years I was diagnosed with a heart murmur. It did affect my everyday life, from the age of like 17 to about 23, I want to say, and then it kind of went away on its own. So I'm interested to see if this has anything to do with this diagnosis. I did reach out to my doctor to see if he had any more information for me. I did have some questions for him, so hopefully I get some clarification on that. With Aaron, my very first pregnancy, I did have a hard time conceiving with him. It did take me about 9 to 10 months trying to get pregnant with Aaron. It was probably the hardest 9 to 10 months of my life. Every month I'd get my period and it would just be a roller coaster of emotions. It was so hard for me to keep my emotions in check when it came to that. I was trying everything I could. I was tracking my ovulation. I was taking my temperature at night. I was taking fertility teas, fertility pills, everything I could think of, everything I could find online. I was trying and I just was not conceiving. It was probably the hardest 9 to 10 months of my adult life. I know it was hard on Martin. It was sometimes he'd have to come pick me up and just hold me while I sat and cried. I would give myself migraines from how much I was stressing out about it, and it was just hard. I definitely commend anybody who has gone through fertility issues like that. I don't think I could have taken 1 more month of going through that. I definitely had, my low points where I just thought I was never going to be able to conceive. I was never going to have kids. It just wasn't meant for me, and it was really hard to come to that realization. I'm happy I did go through that because it led me here, and having to put myself in that situation of what if I just never have kids. So the day I found out I was pregnant with Aaron, it was probably the happiest days of my life. It so many emotions within that first week. It was a lot of what ifs, what happens if something happens with this pregnancy. It was just a lot of questions for me. At about 3-4 months, I was in the hospital for dehydration. I had nausea up until the point of delivery with Aaron. I was sick almost every single day. I couldn't keep anything down. At about 7 months, I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy. It's actually an interesting story. I was out eating with some friends and we were laughing and joking, and I just remember laughing so big and I just felt something kind of go off, like on the left side of my face. I felt like my jaw kind of like locked or something. It was such a weird feeling. And then from then on, I just thought, I've always had jaw issues, so maybe that, it's flaring up again. I don't know. And then I was looking at pictures that we took that night and my face definitely looked off. I wasn't sure what it was. I thought maybe like I'm just smiling weird because my jaw was bothering me. And then I worked for an orthodontist at the time, so I talked to him about it the next day, and he was like, I don't think that's a jaw issue because I'm looking at your face right now, and like your eye looks like it's drooping as well, which in those pictures it looked like that too. So he sent me straight to the emergency room. They started testing me for a stroke. They started testing me for all these things, and they just couldn't come up with anything. They're not sure if the Bell's palsy was linked to my pregnancy or not, but I do feel like it had some lingering effects till this day sometimes. That was hard. And then about a month and a half later, I was going in for my weekly checkups, and I was hooked onto all these monitors. My blood pressure was higher than it should have been for the point in time of my pregnancy. So they kept me for observation, and then they put me on bed rest. I was diagnosed with slight preeclampsia, hypertension. The only really effects that I had on that is I did swell up a lot with that pregnancy. I gained about 60 pounds with Aaron. I'm pretty short, I'm 5'2", so carrying 60 extra pounds on me was rough. And I want to say that was really the only side effect I think that came with the preeclampsia, other than my blood pressure going up high. So I was induced with Aaron at 38 weeks because of the hypertension, and I did deliver Aaron vaginal, so he was not a C-section. I was induced, and I was in labor for about 16 hours before Aaron came. And it was definitely the hardest pregnancy for me. It was the hardest labor for me. And then I was like, I don't know how women ever forget being pregnant and then want to do it again. I don't get it. And then 3 years later, we decided we wanted to have another baby. And I thought it was going to take me a longer time to conceive with Andrew, my second, and it was not. The month we decided we wanted to have him is the month we got pregnant with him. So Andrew is by far my most stubborn child, and he was my most stubborn pregnancy. He was not in the correct position at 37 weeks when they were looking to, see if I was gonna have to do a C-section or not. They gave me the choice to do the inversion, so to flip him, or to just schedule the C-section. I did try to avoid the C-section as much as I could, so I did opt for the inversion, and it was pretty interesting. The doctor went in and, they slanted the bed for me, and they went on and followed his hand with the ultrasound machine as he pressed down to try to turn Andrew, and he did. It was successful, and I went on to deliver Andrew vaginally as well. During his pregnancy, the only little scare that came back was that his head was a little bit larger than it should be. It wasn't really in proportion to his body. So they were checking for extra fluid in his brain, and then, we started to look all of that up, and we were coming back with some scarier things that we were hoping not to be an issue. A lot of people in my family were like, a lot of people in our family were born with big heads. It's not an issue. You'll be okay. And so we were just praying a lot and hoping that we weren't going to have any complications with Andrew, which we didn't. He was a beautiful, healthy baby boy, and his delivery was also fast and easy. And then about 6 months later, we decided we wanted to have one more and then stop, and that's when we decided to get pregnant again. Same thing, the month we decided we wanted to have another kid, I got pregnant. That's how Gracie came. And I didn't really have any scares with Gracie, no issues. She was probably the easiest pregnancy, the easiest labor and delivery, the fastest. And I just had so much fun being pregnant with Gracie that I decided I could definitely do it again. Hopefully this next pregnancy is as easy as hers was. So that's kind of the update. I will be getting this new blood work done on Christmas Eve. I'll be going in for that because I did have to wait a whole week without supplements. So once I get those results back, then hopefully I'm 100% cleared. They did let me know this won't set me back. I'm still okay to start my medication on the second day of my next period. So that's what I'm hoping for. I am just interested to see what this new diagnosis has to do with my past, what it will do to affect my future health or my kids' health. I don't really care too much to find out what side of my family it came from, but I do hope that my siblings get tested for this, because obviously it's a little scary when it says it could lead to cardiovascular disease. But so far, I'm the only one of my siblings who has had any kind of health issue like that. So hopefully I'm the only one that inherited it. So I am, I'm excited. I'm ready for the next step in this, and I'm just a little nervous about everything, but ultimately I'm staying positive, and hopefully this doesn't derail my plans. I will update you guys soon on what I find out, so hopefully it's some positive news. Thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that, definitely reach out to me. I'm always open to go over this information with you guys. So thanks for watching.